Hello, welcome to the Kristen Willow Show. I'm your host, Kristen Velasinovich, in the Gateway Hotel and Convention Center studio. Yay! Yay! I love our show. I love my show. And with me is my dear, sweet, old friend. We are getting old, sorry. Maybe it's just me. Eric Woodyard, ESPN analyst for our very own Detroit Lions. Welcome, Eric Woodyard.
How you doing?
Thank you for being here.
No problem.
I know you are based far away, so it's an honor to have you in the hot seat. So what have you been up to, sir? Talk to me a little bit.
Just been resting a little bit, honestly. We just wrapped up OTAs. They had a little light mini camp, and then now we coming up on training camp next month. So just kind of been resting into that, yeah, because it's going to get real busy from there in the next few months. I just work.
When does so you're laying low, taking time with the family, enjoying some summertime. When do things start heating up again?
The last week of July.
Oh,
so you start getting crazy, yeah.
Yeah, you don't got a lot of time. Plus, you got Gus Macker that last weekend, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on, yeah.
It's that time of year. So let's talk a little bit about our history. Is that you've been on my shows for like 8 years. That's since crazy. Our Cumulus days. And you were a sports reporter for the Flint Journal and MLive. Mm-hmm. Then you get this incredible job with ESPN.
I went to Utah after that. Utah Jazz, and then I went to ESPN after that.
Okay, so you went directly to the Jazz and then ESPN, and you had what region?
The whole Midwest.
The whole Midwest.
Yeah, so all the Midwest teams, Pistons, Bucks.
With the
Pacers,
NBA.
yeah.
NBA. Then you and I will connect, if I need a favor or him to come on the show or whatever. And he's like, well, I think, I'm being switched to the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. You tell me this. I say, what team? This was 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's about to be the fourth season.
What team do you say?
It was the Detroit Lions.
And what did I say? I said, I'm sorry for you.
A lot of people thought that, but I didn't care.
Well, no, because you have such authenticity and integrity for your craft that whatever is put in front of you, you'll definitely champion. I know this to be true of you. So you didn't care, but I cared for you. I was concerned. And then, last year, so you go through the transitional onboarding years, right? Mm-hmm. And I'd asked you off camera, did you have intel about what was about to come? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and answer that.
I don't think, I couldn't necessarily say I had, intel, but it felt different. When you go into a new situation, your gut kind of tells you, success is coming. Because I kind of experienced it in Flint and Utah and then with Detroit as well. Because, in Flint, everybody thought, you coming back home to Flint, sports are down in the area. We get Miles Bridges, Clarissa Shields, Monte Morris,
right,
Kyle Kuzma. I was able to cover all them.
Come on, man.
I go to Utah, and Gordon Hayward had just left the team. Nobody knew what that would be. Then they had Donovan Mitchell come out of nowhere. Rudy Gobert become all-stars. They make it to the playoffs. So this situation was kind of the same, where you just kind of sense and feel like you're in a good situation. They started fresh with the new GM and Brad Holmes, and started fresh with a new coach and Dan Campbell. So it just felt it just felt the same as every other transition I went to, that something good was coming.
Do you think you could just stay in the studio and live? We'll get you a cot, and because we need a lot of good things to come our way, and I feel like you're a good luck charm. But in all honesty, truly, you are light, love, and energy, and you have a beautiful spirit about you. So you do take on these topics, or you do take on what you're assigned with a really great attitude regardless. No, that's a special thing to have. Not everyone has it. Most people don't have it. They're like, what? I didn't have it for you. I was sad for you.
At the end of the day, you're covering sports. So, I'm not, it could be worse. I come from a really tough area and neighborhood in Flint. So, people, struggling to get by every day.
Day to day.
Who would it be for me to struggle to, I'm covering an NBA team that's bad, or
I'm going to Chicago.
I know people who can't, who don't have money to, ever leave Michigan or ever leave my neighborhood. So I just kind of keep that approach all the time.
And you flow. Well, the great thing about you too is you maintain such wonderful composure. I've never seen you escalate or pop off or get, really crazy mad. You're very even keeled, which is really hard. That's a hard thing too, given someone who's working really hard towards that too. How am I doing, Zach? Good? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, America. But in that being said, so you foresee like good things are on its way. But talk about good things because they're ahead of forecast. So go ahead and just kind of take us through last year. Take us through last year.
Through last year, I think you can't really get through last year without going through before. So the first season, they were 3-13-1. I mean, so 3 wins obviously is crazy.
I know,
and
that's the time I was
the
sad for you.
NBA, and I was covering Milwaukee a lot too in that time. They ended up winning the NBA Finals, so I'm questioning like, man, did I make the right decision? I'm going to this franchise. They win 3 games, but I will say this: Dan Campbell every day was the same way. He came in cracking jokes. He's still him like every single day, even killed. So even though they were losing a lot of those games, you felt like, okay, they could have won. They're competing hard.
They're getting there.
Yeah, to the second year in 2022. Okay, now they coming. They doing much better. They end up having a winning season, 9-8. They beat Green Bay at Lambeau Field. So it's like, okay, this team is coming. They're legit.
You see it, and your boots on the ground where you are physically seen.
And they're drafting the right players. They're getting the right everything, which hasn't been the case in my lifetime in Detroit. Like
45 years, right?
I have never seen them making competent moves. So they were making competent moves, and they get to last year, and I don't think they really caught nobody really by surprise. If you really watched football and saw the way that they've ended last year, was a lot of hype entering the season. So I think last year was just a product of the first 2 years, and the foundation that was laid, it was built brick by brick, and it was just a fun year to witness.
But it was a 5-year forecast, and they had that much success in year 3 when it was a 5-year build-out. Were you anticipating that amount of success at year 3? You suspected it, but
I thought at least 10 wins last year. I think they got a couple more than what I thought. I didn't think they would go that deep into the playoffs. I think that's probably where I thought maybe they might get 1 win in the playoffs or just make the playoffs. But the playoff experience was probably more like what I didn't expect last year.
So walk me through it. You go through what starts training camp, right? You start reporting. You start reporting back to work around the end of July, whatever they're going through, everything. Then the wins start to come. The dream year starts to come. What's it like for you personally being down, boots on the ground, on the field?
It's just cool to see people put the work in and get rewarded for it. So
Hard work pays off.
You see a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, a receiver, and every day he's standing after practice. He's catching 202 passes on the Judge machine every day. And, you see guys really, taking on leadership roles from being rookies and transitioning into like real deal pros. I think that's like been the fun part of seeing them come in and not really know what's going on.
That's magic.
And now they're faces of the league. I took Amon-Ra St. Brown to Fishbones with his dad and his family.
Why didn't you bring him today?
When they wasn't even playing, like his rookie year to now, he one of the top receivers in the league. Just made the most money for receivers when he signed his contract. So when you see stuff happen like that, it's just like it's fun to witness the journey.
I love that. And that's what's great about you too, is the excitement and the energy and the leverage and lift that you have for those guys to succeed in that manner, which isn't always the case. We deal with a lot in this life, and this world is pretty funny right now, and a lot of haterade and bullying, and people don't want people to win. And for you you've always been, though, a champion to watch people succeed. It's just who you are.
It's just in my field, you have to be fair. I mean, if you have a bad game and you play trash that game, I got to report that. But if you play great,
you have to report it all.
It's just doing it in a way that's respectable. Okay, I don't have to tarnish you or do all this and that, but I got to tell the facts. If you went out and you dropped four passes, or you went out and you threw 4 interceptions, I got to write that the same way as if.
Is that hard for you? Because I can fluff it. I'll be like, you know what? You didn't mean to do that, and it's okay. You can't write that.
I gotta be honest, and it's just like not.
It's not okay.
Just doing my job, and I think they can respect it when you come at them in a respectable way. It's just understanding that people are human beings and coming at them with respect, and I think they.
Well, I would be mad if they didn't make mistakes, right? Because that's how you learn. You win or you learn, and I think that's what made them become better. If you don't miss a pass, you don't know how to correct it and do. I mean, there's people who do. Almost like Zach does everything perfect. I hate him, Eric. He's so bossy. But you got to make a mistake. Having coached for 24 years, there's a convention center named after me, I think a conference room that holds 4. But coaching for years, you have got to, like I was such a winning coach because had a winning program at Fenton. I mean, I was just fed athletes, talent, and it was easy peasy. Then I coach travel, and then I have to literally coach, right? I have to coach these kids into leaders and to believe in themselves. It's hard, especially now post-COVID, but that's a whole different take. But to watch this team evolve and then thrive, I mean, I'm talking to a level that just lit the city on fire. What was it like to be in the city during that time?
It was just electric. The energy was electric. Really, that first playoff game when they played Matthew Stafford, it was almost like a storybook. Like you bring in Matthew Stafford,
yeah, that was
the
amazing.
greatest quarterback in franchise history back. And it was like, hey, you one of the ops now. We're not.
That was amazing.
We ain't cheering for you. Nobody coming here with a Matthew Stafford jersey.
100.
This is a brand new. We the brand new Lions. It's not the same old
they
Lions.
didn't wear.
You gotta think, he played against the same team, the quarterback.
Yeah,
so he's
they traded. They were traded for each other.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's the craziest part about it.
Did anyone wear a Stafford jersey though to that game?
But essentially, Jared Goff was sent to the graveyard. Coming in Detroit. That was how what it was said.
Was
for him to
incredible.
rise above that and
And
really put the work in every single day. I mean, like I said, he went through tough times, and to play Stafford, Stafford went right to the Rams and won a Super Bowl that first year. So you could imagine mentally what he went through.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, we traded you for Stafford. We get a Super Bowl, and you go to the graveyard in Detroit.
And then
kind of have to rise above that. It was crazy.
And then the fact that and all the fans that got to watch who were a fan of Stafford and the Lions.
Yeah, because there are massive fans of Stafford and his wife Kelly. Then they did a big donation, right, to I don't know what program, but something in Detroit. I mean, because they had mad love for the city. They wanted it too. I mean, I don't know.
That's cool, but I mean, we can't.
Could be
that's
wrong.
part of the transition. You can't. The past is the past, but what did they really accomplish in the past? So we got to write our own narrative. We respect. Matt, I think this is me speaking for the players. We respect him and everything he's done, but we're doing something totally different.
Beat your ass.
It's not coming in here. It's not
It's
friendly
not
love. We're not just happy to be here no more. So
yeah, it's like it's football, baby. It's what it is. It's not fun hearts and flowers. Very cool. Okay, what about clearly you were at the draft?
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, it was huge. It was the
so
largest, wasn't it? Isn't it the largest on record?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Then the decimal sound hit like the highest at Ford Field for the game prior to the last
Both
playoff
of the two,
game.
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. You couldn't even hear yourself thinking there. It was so loud and just so electric. I probably won't ever experience a game.
Oh, I wish that I was there. I don't wish to be. I go to a lot of events. You guys know this, but that if I could have been there. But Eric's too big for us now. He's off and running. It's okay. We're fine with that. So, Eric Woodyard, do you know how proud your community is of you? We're so excited.
I mean, I stay in my own, lane. I'm around my family, my friends. So, I mean,
You stay
just
humble.
kinda
You're very humble.
Yeah, I'm appreciative of everything, but I'm not just walking around with my chest out like I just run the city
Like
or
me?
nothing like that. Nah, it's just I'm happy and thankful, always to be from here, and yeah.
You are, and that's what's cool. And I told you I ran into your sister, and I said, "Are you Eric Woodyard, same last name?" She goes, "That's my brother." I said, "I adore him." She goes, "I adore him." When do you hear siblings he's like, "Oh, our family loves him," and it's the truth. I mean, what you see is what you get. Just so kind. We interviewed him for years, Zach. So kind, so humble, such a good, just such a pillar of the community, such a rock. And what a gamer, man. So congratulations for all your success. You deserve it, all of it, and more. Because we had you on when you wrote your book, right? With your son, Ethan, right? And you and Ethan's mom wrote a book. So it's out there still. What's the name of it?
It's called Ethan's Talent Search. I think we wrote it for him.
Ethan's Talent Search.
For 6th birthday.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Mom and Dad.
He's 10 years old. Time has went by. And
That's how long we've been interviewing you, yes.
Might do something again for him as he's getting older. It's a new generation raising kids and, trying to keep them on the right path and understand that reading is important and just they go through different phases of life. So it's been fun to just kind of mold and groom him and try to keep him on the right path.
Well, at the time, you had him competitively playing basketball. So you said that's kind of a dream for him. But the book, the moral of the story is, do what's best for your kid. Don't force your kid as a parent into your pipe dreams. But he is a basketball superstar, man. He is, and he's got your disposition. He's so handsome, and he's such a great basketball player. Aren't you so proud of him?
Yeah, I am, but I'm a dad, so I mean, I can't sit up and praise him all day. Or
You
got to work on your left hand. You got to work on your jumper.
You dad.
When I leave here today, we got work to do. So it's not like, it's kids that's your age that's putting in time in the gym in this classroom. So we still got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Even though you're out of school, so
I'm your
it's
parent,
more.
not
I'm
your
here.
buddy.
Yeah, I'm here to. Keep everything in perspective. You're only 10 years old. If you want to be great at this, you got to put the work in. But
And he's
starting off at a
putting
good
it
age.
in.
They won their division of the Gus Macker last year. Mm-hmm. And
He played with Momo, with Mo Pete's team. That team rocked
played
it.
with his son last year, and they did a great job. But now, you got to come back. Nobody care about last year. It's this year. Now,
Look,
what
not
you gonna do
good
this
enough.
year?
Oh my gosh!
So that's
I
where
thought you
I'm
were
coming from
nice.
with Dad. I'm nice to him.
Be careful
but
with
we got work
that
to do.
because my girl's now at 22 and 26. I'm trying to be nice, but I coached them all their whole lives. Back before Super Soul Sunday should have affected me from Oprah. I should have been nicer, but I wasn't. I was like, who? My kids make fun of me all the time because I'm like now their mom and they're adults. Like, hi guys, and I think they're mad that I coach them. Even in the kid, they'd be like, "You think she's bad on the court? Imagine having to go home with her." And my big saying, and they say this to me now, and it's what I say on the courts: what just happened? Who does that? Who does this? Who does that in your class? Who does this? So that's what they turn on me. So be careful. Just giving you some life.
Yeah,
it's going in my
coach.
parenting book.
Number one, I don't coach. Number two, I turn it off when we
You
go
do.
home.
You get them in the car.
A little
Captive.
bit, but I mean, some days, maybe I just got to peep his. I took a parenting class where they
Eric,
gave it
come
to
on,
us.
come on,
So
man.
I got to peep his energy. Like if he got the energy where he want to listen, I might come back to it an hour later or something like that.
Let me tell you.
I don't do it every
Zach's
game.
oldest daughter, how old's Katie now? 19? She was like 14. She's in the car. We're heading actually to launch Hope for Flint Kaiba Health and Life out of Detroit, right? On the yacht, right? Katie's in the car with me. She says, she's got his disposition. She's like, 14, can you talk to my dad? I said, yeah, what's going on? Well, every time I'm in the car, he lectures me in the car, and he says the same thing over and over, like, don't wear short shorts, and, can you just talk to him? He just says the same things. I said, yes, honey, I got your dad, don't worry. Of course, her dad doesn't listen to me. I know you talk in that car, so we'll just leave it there. We'll pin that, Eric Woodyard. Yeah. Oh, I know what you did. I know what you did, but she turned out beautiful. So we got the new season coming up, Eric Woodyard, and the book's still out there, available on Amazon. Again, it's Ethan's Talent Search with a great message of, hey, don't live vicariously through your kids. Let them, do what they want to do, and then just encourage that, stay with it. And at the time it was basketball because you get nervous, right? Am I pushing my kid too hard? Am I putting them in a sport that it's what I want to see? It's hard. And then basketball happened to be his sport of choice, and he's thriving in it, no doubt. And I had no doubt he wouldn't. So it's got a great message. And then upcoming season. So what are you thinking? Give us some sneak peeks. Give us some intel.
Yeah, I think they locked in. I think it feels much different. Even the mini camps that we were in and the OTAs this summer, this off season, it was more business-like. I think the last couple of years they were like figuring it out. But now you got the guys, the St. Browns, the Panay Sewells, the Jared Goffs, even Jamison Williams, they're coming in with just a different mindset, as if like we're contenders this year. I had a story that just ran with one of the offensive linemen, Taylor Decker, and we did a whole timeline of the Lions' resurgence. If you guys get a chance, check it out. It's on ESPN.com. And we talked about everything, like from them firing the head coaches, 2 different head coaches and GMs, and to getting to this point now. He was the longest tenured guy on the team, so he's experienced it all in his 9 seasons with the
So
team.
he
And
could really speak to
so that was a cool interview to kind of talk to somebody who's been through everything from a player perspective. And I think that kind of defines how they're entering this season. They think they're contenders. They're ready to go.
It's chess now, baby.
Now it's I'm not going to say Super Bowl or bust, but we have a legitimate window to at least make it to the Super Bowl. And I think they see it in these next, 2 to 3 seasons, and they're, working towards that. So that's kind of the mentality.
So the cleaning house, the strategy now, like you said, the figuring out done. Be in the rear view. Now it's just chess and strategy and you know that there's such a focus and the hard work, putting in the work. Trust the process. Trust the journey,
Yeah.
right? And we're going to have another electric season. We all feel that, right? What do you think of Kansas City this year? I mean, that Taylor Swift, we need someone to get a big, can Brittany date someone? Just kidding, not Brittany. We need someone big to start dating one of them. I don't care who.
Well, Golf has a supermodel girlfriend.
Yeah, but that's not going to do it.
Fiance.
I need an
Yeah.
Eras tour close to. I need Beyonce.
But yeah, it's fun. It's gonna be a fun season. I think everybody's fired up. Like you said, it's a lot of electricity around, Detroit, from the draft and record-setting draft to the long run they had last year to the new draft picks they got. It's a lot of excitement. I have never experienced going into a season with this much hope and optimism that the team can really make the Super Bowl. That's
Right.
pretty
This
insane.
is it. We're heading our way. Well, I adore you. Thank you for coming back home, because you come back home to your city. It's very important to you. Thank you for your support always for me and my A-team and my crew. I know we're not ESPN, Zach, but we're we're right there.
Yeah, we're close.
We are.
Close second,
Do a
for sure.
clap. Yeah, do the
Y'all
clap.
gotta speak it. We are ESPN. Y'all
No,
gotta feel it.
do another, do a different one though, not a clap one. Look, what we are, Eric.
Okay. Magical.
We are, man. We are. I'm a unicorn for the love of Jesus. Eric Woodyard, check him out. ESPN, analyst for the Detroit Lions. Here we go. 2024, 2025 season. I'm all right, everyone. It's just pneumonia. And we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I feel it. You feel it. Here's to another great season. Congratulations again on all your success. So well deserved. We're so proud of you, Flint community, and just thanks for giving back too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone. As always, thank you to viewers and listeners, and to Zach. I'm nothing without him. Not true. He's irreplaceable. Like Beyonce sings. That's all we need. One of those lines to date. Not Beyonce, but a Beyonce up and comer. Thank you. This has been the Kristen Willow Show.